Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. I want to start off with a big thank you to Robin Lynn King for the meme that you're looking at. I love it. All right. We're going to start off again with updates to stories that we've already covered. That's what we do before we hop into all of our information. And this is video number 1 for today. Let's go. To start with, my subscriber Olga looked at the picture that was sent, that I put up about Omid, and this is what she sent me. Something about the Thunder shirts. He does look like that. You're absolutely right. Unbelievable. All right, moving on. All right, we're going to cover the Duke of Edinburgh today. Remember, I told you guys he took the first, salute. We've covered all of that. Well, since he was in Edinburgh, he was greeted at the city chambers as part of his visit. He was greeted by the Lord Provost. And as I told you guys the other day, I think he looks fabulous. Moving on. Next up, we're going to talk about the fact that people are saying that Harry and Meghan are melodramatic and untrustworthy. I completely agree with that. They said that they overshadow events, which of course we know is why they weren't invited to Serena Williams' baby shower, because the whole thing would have ended up being about Meghan instead of celebrating Serena and the baby reveal, right? This person, who was a celebrity publicist who founded BCC Communications, said that Harry and Meghan have too much baggage and they distract at celebrity events. Again, I agree. I mean, the non-car chase was brought up, right? Because they claimed they were in a relentless pursuit from the photographers, but then we come to find out that's not what happened. Even the police came forward and said it wasn't possible. They asked Harry and Meghan to hand over their footage. Harry and Meghan refused. You guys get where I'm going. But anyway, he said, if you're at a red carpet event and you're promoting a movie or a product, you're there to promote whatever event is there. And Harry and Meghan's problem, especially after the whole car chase thing, is people don't trust them anymore. Well, I didn't trust them before the car chase thing. I'm just saying that's the problem. And I agree. All right. Next up, I just had to bring this up because I think it just shows how much people don't understand American politics. This article by GB, I was shocked. But GB News says that Meghan can keep her title if she were to become president. That is actually incorrect. Just for future reference, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8 says, of the Constitution, says, no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding an office of trust shall accept any present office or title from any king, prince, or foreign state. No, she cannot keep her title. Okay, the puff pieces have started. Harry's going to take Archie with him to Africa when he's doing his documentary to make up for the fact that he missed the coronation. The kid was 4. Even if he had gone to the UK, he would not have been allowed at the service. He's too young. This is just a puff piece, you guys. All right, here we go. We've already talked about this before, but there's been updates. Remember, they said that there would be no public, anything for the family to mark the death anniversary of Queen Elizabeth. However, that's not exactly true. So after Buckingham Palace said there would be no public memorial and nobody's reached out to Harry and Meghan, it's come out that Catherine and William are going to mark the occasion. Now, the king and queen are going to be doing a private, peaceful contemplation of, Queen Elizabeth's life at Balmoral Estate. And they're saying they don't know if the Prince and Princess of Wales are going to be doing something publicly or if they're going to, release some sort of a film on their social media channels. Nobody's exactly sure yet what's going to happen. So obviously some sort of message is going to be delivered, whether it be live or taped. And they said that they're going to honor, Queen Elizabeth. They're still ironing out the details is what they're saying, whether they're going to do it in person, on television again, or via social media. Now, of course, we all know that the entire family is going to be at Balmoral. That includes Andrew. I don't want to hear about it. That's his mother, okay? Also, his daughters, their families, Prince and Princess of Wales, Sophie, Edward, their children, like the whole family's going to be there. Princess Anne, her husband, Zara, everybody. Now, we know that Harry and Meghan were not invited to Balmoral. I agree they shouldn't have been invited. They were just going to say no anyway. You're just putting the power back in their hands. But of course, they've said that they are planning on honoring the Queen in their own way, which tells me basically that they're going to sit back and wait until the palace does whatever it is they're going to do. And then they're going to release whatever it is they're going to release in an attempt to take the attention, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can read the room where things are in this family at this time. All right, moving on. All right, this is just another update. We already know the HRH title was stripped from the royal website from Harry. Interestingly enough, Meghan Markle's official biographer, Omid, took the HRH off of her name 3 years ago. However, we know it stayed on the website. So anyway, Harry finally, since his name, the HRH was removed from the website and he was dropped to the very bottom of the website. Why he's still on that website, I don't know, because it's supposed to be just for working members of the royal family. They are not a working members of the royal family. And their bios still say that they're honoring, the king, which we know they're not. But anyway, he's in Japan. Next up, I have an update on the whole David Beckham thing. Now, this is Tom Bauer, who wrote that book, that we all read, Revenge, and, they had threatened him with lawsuits, and of course they never sued because everything in the book was true. Well, come to find out, he's writing a book on what happened between the Beckhams and Harry and Meghan. So listen to this.
You revealed firstly that you are hard at work because you've obviously been a biographer of Meghan Markle, revealing that you are now working on a new bombshell book about the Beckhams. I'm sure they're pretty nervous about that, given your track record. But actually, what I found really fascinating in this piece is that you reveal that when Meghan and Harry were on tour in Australia during their royal tour, they actually wanted nothing to do with the Beckhams because Meghan was so nervous about being overshadowed by Victoria.
Well, yes, what was really fascinating about the story is, of course, that Harry invited the Beckhams to come to Sydney for the Invictus Games. He flies halfway around the world, he gets there, and Harry doesn't want to see him. He's standing in the stadium saying, "Where's Harry?" And his people are told by Harry, "I don't want to be seen with David Beckham." Now, I think the reason was that Meghan was deeply worried that she would be overshadowed by the Beckhams. And if you remember at that moment, there was another hoax of Meghan, that she thought she was Diana when she was in Australia.
So popular.
And the one thing she didn't want to do was have any competition.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about the whole Meghan-Beckham relationship is, which I discovered, is that she took them for a ride. She lived in their house, she got free clothes. She did everything she could to milk them and then dump them. Didn't invite them to her wedding dinner, didn't invite them to meet them in Australia, or invited them and then dumped them. And then in the end, she walked out on them. But I think the last laugh on that relationship will be the Beckhams. They'll triumph in Miami.
Because they're actually doing better, you say, in America in terms of their brand at the moment than the Sussex.
Absolutely. And of course, the party in Miami after Lionel Messi got his great goal was a Beckham party, but without Meghan, but with the Kardashians.
Now, what did I tell you guys? Be careful who you crap on the way up, because you might need them on the way down. Perfect example. All right, moving on. And once again, we have more A-listers that are pushing back. This is a perfect example. Richard Eden reported that Gwyneth Paltrow had a huge party. Her very famous mother was there. Jerry Seinfeld, I believe is how you say his name, was there. All these, Blythe Danner was there. And no Meghan Markle. But apparently Meghan Markle expected to be at this gathering. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. The A-listers, Meghan wants her name attached to these people, and these people don't want their name attached to her. All right, one more story before we start jumping into the big stuff. They're pointing out that Meghan and Harry, they always looking inwards for their next project. And here they've gotten a project, which we've told you, which was basically loosely written on their lives. I mean, the parallels are ridiculous. And people are just like, ugh, another one? Like, really? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of video number 1 and the end of our updates. Come and join me for the big juicy stuff in video number 2. Let's go.